Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mark, your fat friend,
And I'm James, your black friend,
and this is the Fat and Black Connection.
where we talk about anything and everything. Well, as long as it's interesting to your boys.
Absolutely. And this is, as always, a live and interactive broadcast.
Oh,
And
yeah.
today is January 25th,
Oh, yeah.
2023.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is 8:03 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
Pacific.
Oh, yeah.
What does live and interactive mean, James?
That means we are coming to you live, and we want your comments. We want your questions, because every once in a while that just sends us down a different path.
Show enough.
Yeah.
So, as we do here at the Fat and Black Connection, we enjoy a tasty beverage from time to time,
Yes, sir.
and I have a new tasty beverage.
Okay. What
Uh,
you got?
Picked this up the other day at the store at Winco, as a matter of fact.
Okay. Oh, is that peanut butter?
This is Lead Dog Brewing, and it is a peanut butter stout.
Yes.
And I don't know if you can see the logo very well, but it's basically a
It looks like a
giant
peanut.
peanut getting stabbed by a bunch of daggers with peanuts falling out of the shell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is crafted with curiosity, and they lead with defiance. Brewed and canned by Lead Dog Brewing in Sparks, Nevada.
Okay.
So this is local to the northern Nevada area. Defy the status quo. 6.6 alcohol by volume.
We might have to try and find that spot. Is that what I'm hearing?
Give it a little crack and a little sip.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's nutty. Well, this isn't the first peanut butter stout I've had before.
Yeah.
And the ones that I've had before, it's very subtle. This has a little bit more of
It's
a
just-
robust.
It's right there in your face, huh?
It's not slapping me, but it's
Oh.
there.
Okay. And I picked up some Kirkland signature hard seltzers.
Mhm.
And so I have 4 different flavors. So I asked Mark to choose 1 through 3. He chose number 3. So we're gonna start off with the black cherry.
And I have had these on the show before, so I know how I feel about them. I'll be excited to get your input. The black cherry being one of my favorite.
Yeah, that's good. That's real good. I
Yeah,
like that.
and considering it's got 100 calories and
Yeah, 100
Yeah.
calories and like not a whole lot. It's just not a whole lot to it. It's pretty darn good.
yeah, it's a delicious treat, if you will.
Yep.
So,
All
so James, it's been a week. There's a couple things going on here that we'll talk about here at the top of the show, and we'll remind everyone at the end as well, just in case. But coming up in just a week,
Yeah.
a week from today,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I am going under the knife.
That's right. Yes, you are.
I'm going under the knife. I'm having my tonsils removed.
Get them out of here.
So for those of you that don't love the sound of my voice, you won't have to listen to me talk for a couple weeks.
Too. But,
And what's going to happen in that time frame? Because I'm going under the knife next Wednesday, and we have a show next Wednesday.
Yeah. So actually, the plan is for our fatter, blacker friend Tyrus to step on in and be my co-host for a couple weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I said you got to figure something out, so I'm glad you figured something out.
Yeah.
And he's covered for you a couple times, so I guess it's only fair that he covers for me.
Right.
And that'll be good because you guys will have a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we will.
Especially next week. You've got. We'll talk about some of the stuff later. But your guys are going to have a lot of stuff to talk about next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that'll be nice.
Good times.
And I will since I won't be able to talk, I probably won't be on the show because there's not a lot of purpose. But I will be commenting.
There you go.
I will be a part of the viewing audience, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh
And,
yeah.
yeah. So other than that, what's going on with you? Anything fun in the last week? Did you do anything?
Oh, actually, well, so last Thursday, I went to go see a friend of ours who lives out here, uh, Jeff, and hung out with him for a while. Got grabbed some lunch and kind of hung out. And then I got a call.
Jeff,
Yeah,
the one kidney wonder.
yeah, yeah, y-
Nice.
yeah. So he's out here. So we hung out for a little while. Um, at and while I was hanging out with him, I got a call from my buddy Rob, and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "Well, I'm hanging out with a friend right now, but what's up?" He's like, "I have a ticket to the Knights game," and I was like, "Oh," and like, and Jeff heard me, and he was like, well, you better get out of here and go to that," and I was like, "You sure?" And he was like, "Yeah, you go," and I was like, "All right, bro." I said, I hit Rob back, and I was like, "Yo, I'm already out. I can meet you wherever." And he was staying over at the Excalibur because he was out here for because he's a part of the building trades union, and
Mhm.
so he was out here doing some stuff for that. And so I was able to go to a Knights game, bro. I I don't know if you've ever seen it on TV, but a Knights game is one of the most outlandish things I've ever been to in my life. And not outlandish in a bad way, outlandish in the most spectacular of ways. I mean, from the time from before the doors open, they have a DJ out in the plaza playing music. They have a fan come up and like open to have the doors open, and there's this horn that goes off. I'm talking, bro, it is absolutely ridiculous. There is a castle, like not a it's like a castle in the back that has fireworks. They have fireworks in the building. They have cheerleaders. They have a drum line. They have showgirls. They have like I was like, my mind was like literally blown. It is literally, they took all of Vegas and put it in a sporting event. It is literally the most listen, I'm telling you right now, next time you come out here, if you come during hockey season, we're going to one of these games because
Literally.
yeah, yes, we are going to one of these games. When if you come during hockey season, we're going because it is, I've never experienced anything like it. I've been to Sharks games, I've been to a number of Sharks games, but this like I don't think any other hockey team has what's going on in Vegas right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been to a Sharks game and I've been to a Ducks game in Anaheim,
Yeah.
and nothing.
No,
I mean, there's the normal shtick where they do the lights and sounds and maybe a little bit of pyro and stuff for
no, I'm talking about
introducing
like
the teams
right. I'm
or
talking
the.
about full on videos on the ice. I'm t- I'm talking about. Listen, I have. You know what? I'm just gonna have to post some stuff because I have from last week. I have it. Oh, look! Check that out. Pop Culture Kaboom's checking in. Oh,
Nice. Welcome to the
nice.
show, Pop Culture Kaboom. Good
Yeah.
to see you. Glad you're
Um.
here.
But
I'm
yeah,
hoping
no.
that's Jimmy.
But for sure, like I'll have to post some stuff so you guys can see. Like it's crazy.
And yes, I already had your logo ready to go because I'll be talking about my experience on the show in a little bit.
Nice.
And as a matter of fact, one of the things that Jimmy and I talked about is him coming on our show at some point in the
That'd be
near
dope.
future.
I would
Yeah,
like that.
so we're gonna get that set up and scheduled. And I really like Jimmy, good guy. I really love the product. You know what? Let's just talk about it now
Yeah.
since we're here. Why not? So, as some of you may know or may recall, I announced previously that I was going to be joining the Pop Culture Kaboom show to talk about, some of the different products that we're involved with at 97 to now and with Murphy's Inc. and all of that kind of fun stuff. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I came on, and I will say there was a couple things that Jimmy blindsided me with. He was asking about something else we've talked about on this show before, Radio Story Hour, which
Oops.
well, and to be fair, I got to give the guy a lot of credit. He clearly had done his research, because 97 to now, we were involved with Radio Story Hour. And so it was a little on the spot, and I was like, ooh, how do I answer these questions, in a way that doesn't hopefully offend or upset anyone, while at the same time being honest. And I think I pulled it off. I haven't gotten any nasty grams from anyone, so that's a good sign. But I gotta say, I really enjoy their show. They talk about a lot of interesting stuff that there's a lot of commingling between what they talk about, what we talk about.
Yeah.
But they talk about a lot more stuff than us. When
toys
we bring
and comics and
and when we bring Jimmy on in the future, I'll love for him to talk about the pillars of pop culture and kind of really explain everything. But they have a really great product. Over 15,000 listeners weekly,
worldwide.
Yeah, huge numbers. So I am so thankful for them bringing me on and letting me have the opportunity to bloviate about myself and about what we do.
Yeah.
And I did name drop you a couple of times.
So, I heard it.
Yeah. I made sure you get your credit. But if you haven't listened to the show, Pop Culture Kaboom, I highly recommend. They're on Sunday nights. You can definitely go if you're in the Northern Nevada area. It's easy. Right. Go to 95.1 KNVC. But if not, you can go to knvc.org. And on there, you can easily go onto their live player and listen to it. And what time do you guys start, Jimmy? I know I was on at 8, and I think you guys wrap at 9. And if I remember, it's 3 hours. So let me do math. Does that mean 6 to 9? I think
we'll get a response to that. But no,
6 p.m. There we go. Yeah. 6 p.m. Pacific. So the only thing that I feel like is missing from your guys' show is kind of what we do here, that live component with like some visuals and but 6 to 9, knvc.org through the live streamer, or if you're in the Northern Nevada area, 95.1 KNVC. Great show. I enjoyed immensely being on, and I hope to have the opportunity to be on again at some point in the future. And I love talking about myself, so that's always a lot of fun. But that was it was a really fun experience, and I'll get into that when I'm on your YouTube show. There you go. Yeah, when you come on our show, we'll help you get set up and understand how we do things, because we're getting better every year that we do it. We've been doing this thing for like 2 years now, right? And if you remember back when we first started doing this thing, it was purely through Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And we would come on like 5-10 minutes before, and we'd just hit the go live button. Then it would just be our faces talking.
Yeah.
And then we finally said, okay, let's step up our game a little bit, and we get Restream. And we start trying to figure out how to use it, and just using the stock overlays and all of that. Yeah. And then we got our own logo, and then we got our own music, and then we're getting there.
Everything is coming together nicely.
Yes, it's only taken 2 years to get here. But it's fun.
Yeah.
And it it's like I talked about on Pop Culture Kaboom. Ultimately, Fat and Black Connection, it's really just two friends having a conversation and choosing to share that with the world, so to speak.
Yeah. It's our weekly check-in.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard the part where he asked me where the title came from, Fat and Black Connection.
Oh, that's old.
Well, and so I said, I'm fat and
I'm
you're black,
so, yeah.
and we come together
and we
to meet. And, so And I also had brought up, how in like the wrestling video games, we have our tag team that we've had for a long time, Fat and
Yeah.
Black Connection.
Yeah.
And so kind of fun. But let's dive into some content. What do you think?
Sure. 1, 2, or 1, 2, or 4.
Wow, you finished that one already?
Yeah. It was delicious.
I told you that's a good one. 1, 2, or 4. Let's go with 2.
2. Okay. Oh, good. Classic. My light's bright. Mango.
The mango.
Yes. Alrighty. Shall we continue?
Let's do it. All right. So, first up, let's talk about the
Nominations, baby.
The Oscar nominations have come out, and we talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe here a lot on Fat and Black Connection.
Oh yeah.
And Wakanda Forever had multiple nominations, 5 as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So best makeup and hairstyling, best visual effects.
That's going up against Avatar. That's gonna be hard.
Best original song.
Yeah.
Best costume design. And best supporting actress.
Yeah.
And I am fully expecting, based on what we've already seen at the Golden Globes and People's Choice Awards and everything, Angela Bassett will likely win an Academy Award for her performance in Wakanda Forever.
She deserves it.
I'm not going to say she doesn't deserve it.
I think she got screwed over for Tina. I think she got screwed over for what Slove got to do with it. Actually, that was lead actress, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to say that she doesn't deserve it. I will say that, I mean, and we're going to pull this up now, which is the list of all of basically it's an Oscar ballot.
Yeah.
So you can play along at home if you want. You can go download this from ABC. Oscars 95, airing Sunday, March 12th. So, if we look at actress in a supporting role and look at who she's going up against, Hong Chow, The Whale, haven't seen it. Carrie Condon, The Banshees of Inisherin.
I think that's what it's called. I don't remember.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis and Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Haven't seen it. So,
yeah.
And the only name on this list that I recognize is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
And I would suspect probably Angela Bassett was better than Jamie Lee Curtis, just based on what I know of their bodies of work.
Their works. Yeah.
So I don't want to go through every single category and every single everything. I just want to talk about some of the things that stood out to me. And I want to start right away where it just smacks you in the face. And that is animated short films. My Year of Dicks.
I literally need to see this film. Just because
I watched the trailer tonight before we met up, because when I saw, I'm looking through this list and I'm looking at the different names of things and I'm like seeing the same name repeated a lot, the same movies, right?
Right.
And I don't know why, but the word dicks stood out to me because you don't.
Bam.
And My Year of Dicks, and it's an animated short film, and I'm like,
what?
Okay, maybe it's an animated short film about like somebody dealing with a bunch of jerks or
Richards or something. I don't know.
But no, this is an animated short about a teenage girl coming into her own, if you will.
Okay.
And the animation, I don't really enjoy it, frankly.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Beavis and Butthead meets an acid trip to an extent.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no interest in watching it. The trailer did nothing to pique my interest. So yeah. However, I will say you were and are a big fanboy of the Batman which has multiple nominations as well. Sound, visual effects. I think that was it, but still
Yeah.
two nominations for the Batman. So comic book films are finally getting some serious attention. I mean, the only thing we had seen majorly previously, the biggest one, of course, was Heath Ledger's Joker.
Right. And
Um,
then like the first Black Panther got a number of nominations too.
yes, but we're now seeing where it's almost more of a norm
Yeah.
for good comic book films to get some consideration, which is nice.
Yeah.
I did want to call out as well the best picture category.
Is the
Uh,
whale on there?
no. So the best picture category has 10, 10, count them, 10 films. I feel like it's just, hey, let's nominate as many things as we can. I don't understand how 10 films could really be considered that top tier for the last year. I can understand 3, 4, 5 maybe.
I've
But
seen like I know I've seen like 6, 7 films nominated before.
I just think that that's crazy. And especially considering, looking at the list, I recognize a lot of the names, right? Avatar: The Way of Water, of
Yeah.
course, it being nominated for Best Picture.
But the crazy part is that James Cameron's not actually best director, which is weird.
Not too surprising.
No, I'm saying because most of the time if it's nominated for best picture, the director is nominated for best director.
Well, and looking at the directing, there are 5 films nominated for director, and all 5 of those have been nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah. As
And
as
we've got
most of
our
the time they
damn
are.
chicken in, Brian. Or there's just not the same number of Oscar bait films.
¿Por qué?
They expanded it to 10 a few years ago to get more small films and side films in.
Mm.
Okay. Elvis, a biopic about the king. The Fablemans, that's Spielberg's film,
Yeah.
and I don't know that it is, but I feel like having seen the trailers, I was like, is this a biopic about himself? Top Gun Maverick. That's
Oh,
an interesting.
that movie's legit, bro.
Haven't seen it.
Oh.
Didn't
Oh
really.
no. Oh, bro. You haven't seen Maverick?
I've seen Maverick. I've seen Top Gun. I haven't seen this one.
Oh, you gotta see. I mean, like, you have my Vudu account, right?
Yeah, but we shouldn't admit that here or live on.
It's not a big deal. It's
Do
just
you have Top Gun through your Voodoo now?
yeah.
Okay, I'll have to take a
I
look.
have Maverick on there.
If it's there, I'll watch it since it's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got Matt Murray checking in. Elvis was a great film. I plan to watch it. I believe it's on HBO Max now.
Yes, it is.
So I definitely plan to watch it. Growing up, my dad, huge Elvis fan. Like I don't know if you know this, but almost every single Elvis came out with was turned into a film.
Blue Hawaii.
And of course, yes, there is a Blue Hawaii. There's Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah, what did Billy Joel say? He's like they put Elvis in these horrible films. Something like clam bake, but that's not really one. But
No, but I mean,
in the same kind of vein, yeah.
Yeah, like Viva Las Vegas. That was interesting film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to watch it. I have heard that the guy who played Elvis, who did win, I believe, the Golden Globe, Austin Butler, is amazing. So I will give that one a watch. But I guess I'll watch Top Gun since it's there. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like 10 items is a little out of pocket. And same thing, right? You were talking about how the directing best picture, you can see original screenplay best picture, right? There's a lot of crossover there. And so my suspicion would be that best picture is probably going to be from among these 5 since they're the exact same 5 films.
Yeah, but you know what's weird though is that a couple times it's gone completely different where like I know Like La La Land won Best Picture, but then they didn't, or not Best Picture. They won Best Director, but did not win Best Picture, and that's happened a number of times. But it's all good.
And Matt, of course, is siding with us. 10 is too many.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whale, as you brought up, though,
Brendan
there
Fraser is
does
nominated,
have.
right?
Yep, he is nominated
Yeah.
for that. Um, one name that I saw in here that I was like excited to see, but I have no idea what this film is. Bill Nighy, for Living. No idea what the film is, but he's a great actor. Still, one of my favorite roles he's ever done is from Love Actually. So,
Love Actually is like, that's an underrated film, bro.
oh, absolutely. And don't get my wife started. She hates that film.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. To me, it is one of my favorite like romantic holiday kind of crossover type films. I think it's great. I think it's so well done.
Yeah. Just
And
how the different stories being told, like, it's just like how there's some crossover and stuff like that. I think it's, yeah. Love Actually, like, I don't even remember how I stumbled upon it. I think I think I saw it one, and I was like, started watching it, and I was like, yo, this is pretty good. And then, like, but no, Love Actually is a darn good film. Anyway,
yes, agreed. And since this was the part of the show where I was going to talk about this, I'll call it out again. Pop Culture Kaboom radio show.
kaboom!
Great show. This next one that I wanted to bring up was I was trolling the internet as I do, looking for interesting things to talk about, and I came across the image for this, and right away it of course caught my eye, and it's Harley Quinn, a very problematic Valentine's Day special, and of course the imagery of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
Have you not watched the Harley Quinn show on HBO Max?
I have not,
Oh,
and
then that's probably why this threw you off.
I guess evidently they're in a relationship.
Yeah.
So watching this trailer, it's extremely inappropriate. It is
The show
NSFW.
the show is definitely inappropriate, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, this trailer.
Like, I've actually been watching the series, so that's why that's why I know, that's why this didn't throw me off too much.
Yeah, I got confused here for a moment because Matt chimed in with I watched it because of Liam Neeson. I'm like, Liam Neeson is involved with Harley
No.
Quinn, but then no, he's talking about Love Actually.
Yeah, actually Harley Quinn is voiced by Kelly Cuoco.
Interesting. Did not know that.
So she has a couple things on HBO Max. She has this and The Flight Attendant.
And of course, holding up one of the pillars of pop culture, Jimmy's letting us know they were dating in the comic books also.
Oh, I did not know that part.
Yeah, I have not kept up with my comic book knowledge pretty much since the MCU started.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I'm not gonna lie.
And like, honestly, like, I used to be into comic books, and so, but like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still into comics, but like, I used to go like every week to the comic book store and all that kind of stuff. But man, like, trying to keep up with stuff now, it's so difficult.
Well, there's so much good content out there, and that is the one positive negative thing that really came out of the pandemic is so much content was created during that time and is still being created now because people needed outlets. And our damn Brian, Harley has always had some serious lesbian energy. I don't know that I agree with that.
No, I not really, because it was always Mr. J this, Mr. J that.
Yeah, like,
so it was always her and Joker. And
yeah, I mean, if he had said she always had some potential bi, I guess I could maybe, but
and that's the thing. I don't know. I just feel like I don't even know if she really like if. Well, no, that's kind of stupid. They had to at some point. Oh, and actually, he said Jimmy over at Pop Culture Kaboom actually said, yeah, actually, especially at $3.99 a pop. That's yes. So
Yeah, that it is an expensive proposition to be a comic book fan these
You know
days.
what? You know which ones you can, well, if there's ever if there's ever like a series that you want, a lot of times they have um I don't know what they call them, the annuals, I guess they're the is that what they call it?
Like an omnibus or
So
not?
basically it's basically all the books uh together.
Well, that would be an omnibus.
Oh, is that what it's called? Okay. Yeah, because I bought
Oh, yeah, and here's the other thing that's really happening a lot these days, the cover variants.
yeah. Yeah.
Because now not only are you buying like one just so you have the base edition for your reading, but then
But
you've
you
got
want
like
the other covers, yeah.
the 5 collector's edition covers.
Oh man.
And of course, Jimmy's correcting us on the vernacular annuals.
Yeah. So I've
Omnibus is for a story arc. I
right.
apologize.
No, so the annuals I bought some of those and actually I need to find a comic book store out here cuz I need to finish up my collection. But the Injustice Gods Among Us comic books based on like the video game is they're based off the video game and the video game is based off that, however. But basically those are ridiculous reads. So I was like, yo, I need to find these. And yes.
And
Yeah, I'm in Vegas.
I'm sure Jimmy can point you in the right direction of a very good comic book store in Vegas. So be on the lookout for that shortly, I'm sure. But yeah, ultimately this thing are you going to watch it? I assume you're going to.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching the series, so
And let's give a
Torpedo
shout
Comic.
out to Torpedo Comics.
All right.
We'll have to look that up and yeah, give it a go. Why not? Make sure to tell them Pop Culture Kaboom sent you.
I will. Oh, here it is.
So we're going to shift gears from comic books and talk about one of those taboo things that we love to talk about, but we don't talk about so much here on this show.
What are you talking about? Then, now, forever together?
Together. So first, let's start off with, and I don't have any image for this, but let's talk about this last Monday night was Raw Triple X,
Yeah, 30.
the Dirty 30.
Yes, sir.
30 years of Monday Night Raw. So when you think about it, you're 40, right? You're an old man. You were 10 when Raw came on the air.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Raw came on the air?
I do, because I used to watch. They used to have the Saturday morning wrestling. Was that Superstars or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed that. And then I didn't, and you know what's actually funny is I used to have to go to my neighbor's house to even try and watch it, and so it was always hard because it was on a Monday night, and so luckily he lived right next door, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, he had cable, and we'd watch in the garage because that's where they had a TV in the garage, and so we'd watch Monday Night Raw in the garage, and then I'd run back home. It's not like
And
I had
did
to
you have
sneak.
to go watch it there because you weren't allowed to watch it at home?
No, it's just because we didn't have USA. Yeah.
But you guys were rich.
Yeah, we didn't have cable. We had basic. We had just basic stuff. That's when when USA, like when Raw first started, like that's when USA was like part of premium stuff. But
Interesting.
yeah, no, we just didn't like. But so yeah, so I would run next door, watch Raw. I don't remember if I think I watched like the very first one. I do remember the 1-2-3 Kid beating Razor Ramon. Like that was so huge.
Agreed.
When I was a kid. I do remember that match. I just Doink the Clown always weirded me out. Actually, it used to be funny because you know how they used to come out with the music. And so so in my old house in Newark, my bathroom was right outside, like the window to my bathroom was right outside the front door. And so when my brother had to take out the garbage, when it was his week to take out the garbage, I would play the Undertaker theme song and it would freak him out because
I was hoping you were actually going to say you'd play Doink the Clown music and it would freak him out.
No, no, no. It was the Undertaker theme song, but that was always kind of eerie anyway. So
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. So I remember I watched Raw from its inception all the way up until like the early 2000s,
oh
and
yeah,
then
the Attitude Era was legit.
yeah, after the Attitude Era, right around like 2002 ish, 2003 ish, I kind of took almost a decade off.
Yeah,
But now I'm back, and watching Raw 30, I will say, and we briefly spoke about this before we came on the air because we don't normally talk about this, but because the way the conversation was going, I felt like let's talk about this because I was saying for me that this was the best episode of Raw that I have seen in years. Like big picture, like overarching the whole episode. Like, yes, there were parts of it that were terrible.
yeah.
Hands down, the cage match was an epic fail.
Oh,
But
that made me so angry.
the show overall, the opening segment, the trial of Sami Zayn.
Bro, okay. Uh, okay. Yes, that was good. Don't get me wrong. That was very well put together. The only thing is that because the Usos came on like a week before or 2 weeks before and said there was supposed to be this with everybody in the family coming and doing an acknowledgement ceremony of Roman Reigns. That's what I was expecting. And I didn't
So
get that.
so they actually had announced before Monday night that it wasn't happening.
Oh.
They actually, I think, announced on SmackDown that plans were changing. So what
I know the
happened was,
card's always scheduled to change.
so
But
originally the plan was for Alpha, Sika, and Rikishi to come, but
yeah.
unfortunately they weren't able to travel.
Okay.
So they found that out and figured that out a couple days before, and so they had to make changes. And that's part of why we saw the ending to SmackDown that we did with Sammy not being there to fight off Kevin Owens and then showing up at the last minute and holding the contract and creating a sense of what WTF, right?
Yeah.
So so that was that was all planned. People were thinking that them saying it was going to be an acknowledgement ceremony meant that The Rock was going to show up, and I think that's part of why they changed it as well, is because he was not going to be there.
Oh, okay.
And when people thought that's what it meant, I think they didn't want to under deliver.
Yeah. Yeah, I could understand that then.
So, but I guess that's the difference, right? I knew that segment was already going to be changed to the trial of Sami Zayn.
Right. I didn't
Friday night.
That's the thing. I didn't know about that. So
the segment with DX and the Imperium, again, a very good segment, very well done. Kurt Angle coming out to be
Triple H being in his face, not like I can't find him. I'm retired.
Shawn Michaels, I'm too old.
Yeah, no, just DX in general. Like DX still, those guys together still always good.
Well, and I was actually really hoping to see Sean Waltman step up, and we've hung out with him before, and I've had drinks with Sean. He's still young enough, and he can still put on a good show when he's sober. That I have. I can tell other stories about Sean where he is asked, "Hey, where can I go get some weed?" So and this was not when it was legal, but he can still put on a hell of a match when he's sober. And so I was actually thinking, oh, maybe he is going to step up and some tag team is going to come out. I thought when maybe instead of it being Seth Rollins and the
Street Profits.
I was going to say primetime players.
No.
Yes, the Street Profits. I think it would have been better if it was Sean Waltman and the Street Profits.
I could be down with that.
Yeah. But again, a really good segment. The ending to the show, I know you don't like it because you don't like Brock Lesnar, but the ending to the show, having Brock come out, I mean, his name was invoked earlier in the episode by Bobby Lashley. So it was basically saying, it was like telegraphing, hey, he's here. So it kind of set the expectation. So when he came out, I wasn't surprised. When he gave an F5 to Austin Aries onto Bobby Lashley, that I enjoyed.
Austin Theory.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no, I was just like, I'm
So,
not a fan of I'm not a fan of Brock Lesnar.
so for me, I still stand by. I think this was the best episode of Raw we've seen in years.
Well, luckily, apparently Vince didn't have his hands in this one, so that's okay.
But you disagree. You don't
No,
think
I
it
mean,
was.
I mean, again, because I didn't know, I was expecting the acknowledgement ceremony. I was like that's something I didn't know about the change to that. I did think, I mean, I thought there was parts of it that were very good. You know, I always like the Miz, seeing the Miz get beat up, so that's always nice.
That was
Yeah,
a waste of time. That to me was time wasted that could have been used on the women's match in the
but
cage.
yeah, that's something I I stopped liking Bailey. Well, no, let me restate that. Like, I still like Bailey, but I do not like the character that I do not like her as a heel. I understand why they have her that way, and it makes sense to me. But just as a heel, there's it's just her as a person because before
We know her. We've met
right.
her. Going back to the BTW days.
Right. So it's just one of those things like she's so she's so nice. And so
Mhm.
like having her as a heel is like I just doesn't work for me. And
I
then
didn't like the side pony Bailey that they had NXT in when she first got called up either, though. I felt like that was too sugary sweet.
you know what, but the thing was is that like it was she had an underdog vibe about her, and that's I dug that underdog vibe. But at the same time it was just like, and yes, again, that became too much as well, but this match, I was expecting a good match between her and Becky Lynch. No interference. Well, I should have known there would be interference, but I was looking forward to at least, most of the match with no interference from Dakota Kai and Io Sky, who have literally been carrying that team because Bailey has like lost every time she's gone, or not. No, I'm sorry. Anytime she's gone for the title, she's lost, but anytime, but like she's won a number of matches, uh, not, clean, of course, but that's just a heel move. But I was expecting that to be at least a good match, and for it to go down the way it did, that just disappointed the heck out of me.
Yeah, I agree. And the whole reason that it got cut short was because the opening segment with the
Ran
Usos
long.
ran long, and because the
The tag
DX
match.
segment ran
Oh,
long.
yeah. One or four.
Uh, One.
One. All right. Lime.
This one, it's kind of just boring.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
It's the mango I think is good. The black cherry
The
definitely
mango's
good.
good. Black cherry is good. So I think this is probably just gonna be like the normal, like, ooh, wee, lime seltzer. Way.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, yeah, meh.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
lime. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
It's fine. So all of this leads us to, of course, this Saturday, which is the Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble.
And
Yeah.
one of the things that I am excited about at the Royal Rumble, of course, is, as you've referenced just there, the match between Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. The Mountain
LA
Dew,
Knight. Yeah.
the Mountain Dew pitch
Pitch
black
black.
match, whatever that means. I guess we'll find out.
We would definitely find
The
out.
only thing that we know is that there will be neon elements,
Oh, okay. I'm down.
whatever that means. I think they both have done some really good character work and have told an interesting storyline. But I'm also excited to see LA Knight move on to do something else.
Yes.
I think that'll be good.
I'm sorry, or should I say, yeah.
Um, the other singles matches I don't really care about, except for the main event that I'm sure will be Kevin Owens versus
Roman
Roman Reigns.
Reigns.
Uh, and I will tell you my prediction for that at the end of this
I
section, but
actually, I'm well, because I'm a Bianca Belair fan. I'm interested to see her and Alexa Bliss. I'm interested to see that match. Um,
Alexa
I
Bliss is going to lose. Bianca
listen.
Belair is going to go over, but Alexa Bliss is going to lose and then decide to go follow Wyatt. Oh,
Oh, yeah. I was like, what?
yes. Thank you.
um, but the I was kind of, what, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little disappointed that Cody Rhodes announced that he was going to be coming back to the Royal Rumble. I was if that would have been that would have been a nice surprise.
And
Um,
going back to Raw 30, was DDP involved at all? He sat at a poker table and played a hand. That
yeah,
was about the extent of his involvement.
bang.
And we've got Tyrus checking in. He's at work on a layover.
All
Thanks for
right.
checking. And Tyrus, we called out the fact that you will be covering for me the next couple of weeks. So we look forward to the fresh take of content that you'll be bringing to the show for a couple of weeks while I'm on the mend. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. But yeah, no, I'm actually just I'm excited to see what goes down. Like, the Royal Rumble is literally, as they say, the start of the road to WrestleMania starts at the Royal Rumble.
So who's going to win the women's Royal Rumble?
I don't know. Probably end up, like, I think, with what she's done lately, I have a feeling like, plus she's on here, I think Rhea Ripley.
That is my prediction. Rhea Ripley. Who's going to be the biggest surprise female?
Uh, um, if Nia Jax shows up, I'd be surprised. I think Naomi will be I think Naomi will be back. I know heard some talk about Naomi coming back. But
Okay. Naomi, I think, is probably going to be a big surprise. One that I think will be a big surprise that isn't well known, Chelsea Green.
I know that name. Why do I know that name?
She never got called up to the main roster. She was in NXT. She, had a pretty decent contract, but she just never made it. And I think she'll have a surprise. And I'll tell you why when we talk about the men's. But
Okay.
my choice to win the women's is Rhea Ripley.
Okay. And then we might as well just go into the men's. And for me, I think Cody Rhodes is going to end up winning.
Unfortunately, I think you're right. I think they forced him down our throat a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But I am predicting one of two outcomes. It's either going to be Cody Rhodes, or it's going to be my big surprise entrant, Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, but yeah, no,
The man has been working out. He is even more jacked than he was last year. It is evident that he is coming back. To me, it makes sense because there's one of two things that's going to happen here, and I'll just go to the big match, right? So the main event is going to be Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is going to win. So here's what's going to happen. One of two things. If Cody Rhodes wins the men's Royal Rumble, after Roman wins against Kevin Owens, The Rock is going to come out. If Stone Cold wins the Royal Rumble, no Rock.
All right. All right.
Because someone has to take the titles off of Roman. And I think
and I had this here's something that I think is also good is they're trying to work in too, is that I have a feeling either at the at WrestleMania it'll be I don't think it'll be for both titles. I think it'll be for one of the titles. I think they're trying to get one of those titles back. Like, so the Usos, because the Usos defended the Raw championships on Raw. It wasn't both. It apparently wasn't both.
Correct. And on
So
SmackDown this Friday,
is it? I thought they did that last Friday.
no, they're defending this Friday, aren't they? Or is it? Are they defending the following? I
No,
can't remember.
it's the tag team. It's the tag team tournament.
That's right. So it'll be next Friday. They'll be
Yeah.
defending
Or this. So yeah.
just
So no,
the SmackDown.
I think that's it. Is that for Royal Rumble? I think.
No,
Oh, is it next Friday? It doesn't matter. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I think they're trying to get those titles back to split those titles up.
they are. And with Roman's titles, he will defend on both nights. He will defend against Cody Rhodes one night or Stone Cold one night, and he'll defend the other.
What?
That is my prediction.
Oh man! I mean, look, I know Roman's in God mode, but
He is going to defend to both titles
whew,
both nights, and he's going to lose both.
whew, man,
Because he's going to put over two people, and he's going to take a bow, and he's going to walk away.
I mean, the man's been going hard for like 2 years. So.
He's been going Brock Lesnar hard for 2 years.
Well, he hasn't been. He's been at he's pretty much been at every pay-per-view, unlike Brock Lesnar.
No, he has not. There are many pay-per-views that he has not performed at.
Well, not the ones that I cared about, anyways. But like I mean, he didn't wrestle on TV really, but he was there. But yeah, whereas Brock Lesnar didn't even show up half the time on TV, anyways. But whatever.
Going back to the men's Royal Rumble, I've got two other surprise entrants.
Okay.
And these are surprises because they're not already obvious, because Brock Lesnar is now obvious, right? So surprises.
Oh, I don't. Well, do you think he'll end up being in the match because he's gonna be in a match with Bobby Lashley 100%?
Yes, they're setting that up, and they're going to have the moment in the Royal Rumble where they probably end up eliminating each other.
Okay.
To set up that match. So
okay.
Yes.
So later on the night,
my
boy,
your boy, John Cena, I think is going to be a surprise entrant.
Okay, I'd be down for that.
And
Rob Van Dam.
That's right.
I met his wife a number of months ago.
Yes, Rob Van Dam, I think, is going to be another surprise entrant who can still work and will still put on Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam, as a matter of fact. And Tyrus says Rock will fight Roman at WrestleMania, claiming his spot because his grandfather was high chief, and the bloodline will disown him because his mother is actually adopted into the Inouye family. Okay.
What? No.
I mean,
that doesn't make a whole. You're not disowning The Rock. Like, The Rock's the reason that family is it's as big as it is.
Yeah, I mean, the whole argument for The Rock to storyline wise to come back is to knock Roman off his high horse, so to speak.
Plus, they teased it in Young Rock. If you've ever watched the show, they teased it anyway. So
yes, but you got to remember there have been many big angle teases that have happened over the years that didn't pay off, such as The Rock and Triple H. That was planned. They were going to do it. They just couldn't make it happen timing wise.
When you're a big movie star. And now that definitely can't happen because Triple H's heart.
Well, yeah. So I think it's going to be a good Rumble. I think it's going to be probably one of the most exciting ones that we've seen in a long time.
For sure.
I'm excited that they're not going. They've already said they're not going to have a ridiculous amount of surprises. Like, you're not going to get the other surprise entrant that I think we're going to get, and I forgot to say this one. Matt Cardona. Known in the WWE as Woo Woo Woo. but he will come back as Matt Cardona because he's gotten over so hard over outside of WWE
Uh-huh.
as a harder edged like character that he's been, and that's his name, Matt Cardona. Um, I think he comes back as that persona himself
Yeah.
because his girlfriend is also Chelsea Green, who I
Oh,
referenced before,
okay.
and I think, yeah,
I think actually, you know what? I'm bring back the boogeyman. Wow.
of course Tyrus would say that.
I'm the boogeyman.
He's already been back. He came back like
Yeah.
twice in the last 5 years or so.
Actually, you know who I know it's probably not even really a surprise, but I think Edge will come back. Um, now here's the thing: if Beth Phoenix comes back, there's that might put the whole Rhea Ripley thing in jeopardy due to the fact that I think well they could do it before that. They could do the match before it, but just a match between Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Dominic and Rhea Ripley.
Which will likely happen at somewhere like Elimination Chamber or
Yeah,
something between now and
yeah. It's
Mania.
just so because if she wins, like if she wins the Royal Rumble, of course that's going to have to happen before. But I
Well,
think
maybe that's your final two for the women's. Maybe it's
there needs
Beth
to be
and
some
Rhea. And
there needs to be like Beth Phoenix definitely needs a redemption.
agreed. And we were talking about one of the surprise entrants that I'm predicting. And part of the reason that I'm predicting him is because he is the cover artist for WWE 2K23,
Yeah.
John Cena, Mr. Fruity Pebbles himself.
Yo,
Yabba-dabba-doo!
the greatest shirts of all time.
I
That
will
man,
agree.
that man had the shirts. That man had shirts like every couple months. That dude had a new shirt.
Thank you for joining us, Jimmy. Have a great night, and we'll love to catch up with you soon and
Yes,
get a
sir.
date scheduled for you to come join us. But yeah, I think my favorite shirt actually probably was the one when we went to SummerSlam where it was like in the style of Mario.
Yeah,
I really liked
that
that
was
one.
dope. I yeah, I'd like to see John Cena in the match again. It's always good to see Cena around.
So
I
he is the cover character for WWE 2K23
Yeah, he has.
showcase
There's three
mode
different. Yeah, there's 3 different.
editions.
I like the he has the original John Cena one on that. Was that the deluxe edition?
Mhm.
The gold case.
Thugonomics.
Yeah, the doctor.
I do got to say I am a little bit disappointed in that they are going on all three covers with someone that's not a regular anymore.
Yeah.
I to me that's when they did it a
But
couple years
last year, what
ago.
they did, it was what last year was Rey Mysterio, right? Or was that
Yes,
2 years ago? Last year was
yes,
Rey. Yeah,
but at least Ray has
he's been.
been
Yeah, he's around at least.
where John showed up once last year.
Yeah. So,
Um,
so he's getting his one time in right now.
I guess like I said, I'm not against there being a version like the superstar version or whatever you want to call it, where it has somebody like him.
Right.
But I feel like the standard edition should have,
Somebody
uh
that's there.
yeah.
I feel you. I feel you.
So I probably won't be picking this up. I've got 22. I thought it was a decent outing for WWE, but I'm just at the point where I don't feel like I need to pick them up every single year.
No, I mean, literally, like even it's a lot of like the other games that are coming out now that they update rosters and stuff like that, so you don't have to buy the game every year. Like Madden, I know they update rosters every year, so you don't have to end up buying the game every year. Um, NBA 2K updated rosters, things like that. So that's something that's nice. This because I haven't gotten one in a while, I might get this one, but that's still up in the air.
Yeah. Well, and one of my biggest frustrations about the WWE games is by the time they actually release, usually the roster has changed so much.
Well,
that it's not even relevant anymore.
and one of the things that kills me is like the like just the I don't know. I didn't play. I remember in the old games, it was like once you'd run through the season, and then it was basically like just the same stuff over and over again. And it was like, this makes. I mean, I guess I could do it with somebody else, but whatever.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like I said, I probably won't pick it up. If you get it, I'll be happy to come over to your place and stomp you like I always do. You can have a 99 and I can have a 63 and still stomp you. So
That's because you use one type of move.
which is every move.
You, yeah, I make them more all around. Like
Yes, you
different
get
types.
frustrated because when I create a character, you're right. I create a character that focuses on one part of the body. So
Right.
focuses on the head all day. Every
Yeah.
move is a head attack.
Yep.
Why not? Why wouldn't you? Like why would you create a character who has some moves that do a little bit of damage to everything?
I mean, like I
Just
choose moves
focus.
that do. Yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, I try and make somebody that's more realistic.
I think that the characters that I create are realistic to me because I try to create the character based off of my body shape, and
Yeah, no, I mean I understand that. Like, definitely, we do the same thing.
I'm not gonna be a flippy flopper.
But
It's just
yeah,
not realistic.
I try and make a character that does more moves and everything else.
What are you doing there?
I was zipping up I brought my bag up to keep my drinks cold because I'm now on number 4, which is grapefruit. And this is the one that I was least excited about.
That's the one that I have not even had. I have no interest. I don't like grapefruit. And for me, I'm on number 3. I had my 2 beers, and now I will be drinking a tiki rum mai tai
Ah,
by
that,
Cutwater.
yeah. So this is the one. Like, this was I was hoping you would say 4 like a long time ago, but this is the one that I was least excited for.
Thanks, Tyrus. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if Gold Dust shows up, that'd be fun.
Not going to happen. He's still under contract with AEW.
Oh, is he? Gold Dust. I remember when he showed. I remember when I first saw him on Raw. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
I still remember, though, he had one of the best matches of all time with Roddy Piper. The backstage lot fight. They had a hell of a match.
Yeah, actually, I always liked. Was it Marlena? Is that his wife?
Of course, you did.
Hey, that's when they were just divas and they didn't do a whole lot. They were literally there for eye candy.
Indeed. Let's talk about some stuff other than wrestling. Let's talk
Get
about
back to our other favorite thing.
Let's talk about okay, one last thing. I'll read what Tyre says here. AEW is finally having a pay-per-view at Chase Center. I'm going to be there. Cool.
Whoopity-doo.
Good for you. I don't really that would be, I will tell you right now, last comment on wrestling, the only thing at this point that I think could surprise me at the Royal Rumble would be is if CM Punk shows up.
Oof. Oh, that would be something else.
That's the only thing because I think he's still under contract with AEW. There was talk about trying to get bought out of his contract for a while. I don't know if that ever happened. I think
So that him being a jerk thing was actually, that was just real life. That wasn't a storyline, or was that a storyline?
That was real life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I think Trips is more likely to do business with him than Vince.
Yeah.
I know that none of them get along, but still.
Old man McMahon needs to disappear again.
Agreed.
But anyways,
and Tyrus claims that he was bought out because of an assault backstage. You can't call it assault. There were no charges, so
yeah.
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 So let's move on. Let's talk about another one of our favorite places that we like to go.
Yay.
That we will be going to again. Pinkies out here in the near future.
Yep.
And by near, I mean
November.
10 months, less than 10 months.
Listen, we're putting this out there now, people. So if you are not on this trip with us this time, what? I think Tyrus, you said you were going, but regardless, anybody else who listens to this show, be at Disneyland with us in November. That includes you, Brian, even though you're doing whatever. Oh no, never mind. You're that's
He's
right.
getting married or something.
Whatever. Love you. But anyways, but yeah, so but yeah, you need to be there.
We got our first look at the Runaway Railway at El Capitan Theater at the new Toontown.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, wait, what?
Yeah, and he claims it's kind of a priority. Sure. Yeah. Okay. And okay. Fine. Okay. But why isn't your honeymoon at Disneyland? You guys are both Disney files.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why wouldn't you go to Disneyland for your honeymoon? I don't.
And it'd be a honeymoon, and you'd be joining the Fat Black Connection, bro. It's a double whammy, bro.
Seriously, like
that'd be the classic move. Then you can go do whatever else.
And Tyrus wants to know if my wife and kid are going. Probably. So we're looking for a babysitter. Looking at you, Tyrus.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious. Oh, could you imagine me and Tyrus walking around with your daughter? That'd be hilarious, bro.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny.
Oh, that'd be kind of funny.
But yeah, so ultimately, here we are, new Toontown, new refreshed, revitalized Toontown with the Runaway Railway.
Is this where like Mickey's house and stuff was, or is that?
No.
No.
This is where the what was it called? The Laugh Factory was, or the Fun Factory, or
whoa. So wait, they got rid of Roger Rabbit?
No, Roger Rabbit's still over there.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Is that in that spot where like the old Disney afternoon stuff used to be? Like the jail and all that kind of stuff, or is it further back?
That's all still over there.
Oh, okay.
It was a store. The front of this ride, the queue and everything, is where a store used to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, so you're not really losing anything in that area. You're keeping everything. And the queue, from my understanding, is a primarily virtual queue. So that you're not, because as we'll see with some of these images coming up here in a minute, the queue inside is not huge.
Okay.
And so they are basically saying, kind of like they did with Rise of Resistance or the Spider-Man ride,
don't get here till this time.
Yeah, here's your time slot. Come now. So here's the exterior. Looks great. I love it.
That would be a nighttime. Well, one of the, like an early nighttime thing. I would love to see with the lights on and everything.
That's my one fear and question about this ride is, as we know, the fireworks that happen.
Right. No, I'm not talking.
They always shut down Toontown.
Oh, that's right. They do. With a new ride in there, I don't know.
Have a great shift. Rest of your shift, Tyrus. Thanks for checking in, and we do look forward to the fatter and blacker next week.
Double stuffed. But yeah, no. I think with a new ride like this, they're not gonna shut that down. And Brian says, "Wait, is this true, Brian?
When aren't fireworks?
Fireworks aren't every night.
I mean, I know that there are nights where there are heavy winds and they
don't do it, but that's."
And he also claims that Rise of the Resistance closes early. That I was unaware of as well. So
I mean, we wrote it in the afternoon anyway, so it's that big a deal. Yes.
But so when you walk into the El Capitan Theater now at the Mickey's Toontown, this is kind of what you're going to see. This is a queue area, obviously, and we see what appear to be a lot of set pieces and props and elements from clearly Mickey cartoons throughout the years.
Yeah.
The airplane, Steamboat Willie's wheel.
The
Um,
airplanes from that one of the later one of the most recent cartoons that had the 3D and stuff, right?
No, that is from one of the first five. If you go to Main Street and you go to the theater on Main Street where they show Steamboat Willie and all
Yeah.
of the first 5 or 6 Mickey films that ever happened, one of them is the airplane, and that's
Oh.
that's
I thought
that's
they
right.
did. I thought they did something with like when the new films, because they had a new film that was and they did the whole 3D thing with them breaking out of the screen and stuff like that. I thought that had involved the airplane, but
Here's another image, and what I love is over here. This is from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which I don't know how many people will know that because
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
it's
Yeah.
super modern. It's like post 2010. I
Hot,
only know it because
hot
of my
dog,
kid.
hot dog, hot diggity dog.
I have watched so much Mickey Mouse Clubhouse because my kid loves it.
We're
And so
gonna have the racers in there, Mickey Mouse racers.
and I'm wondering if because like there's this hot dog trophy which is probably from Mickey and the Roadster Racers.
Roadster racers. That's it.
So I love seeing this stuff because it's more modern and will appeal to kids
Yeah.
that go on this ride because they'll be like, oh, that's where Toodles goes to get the tools from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Oh, Toodles.
That's right. Oh, Toodles. We've got ears. Say cheers.
That is something I'm excited. I want to see that. That is amazing to me.
Well, and the thing that I think I really love about this queue is that these props and set pieces and everything are meant to fit a Mickey that was used in these cartoons and stuff, right? Because you can clearly see this outfit. It was the size of what they say Mickey would be, I guess, right?
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of those special edition figures that used to come out for the what's that game where you put the pieces on and they show up in the game.
Ah, yes, I know the game you are referring to because I have it in a lot of the pieces. I'm looking around right now because I have some close by, but uh, Infinity. Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
that's
you,
it.
Matt.
Yes, thank you.
Give credit where it is due, but yes. Of course, I love how they stick to theming in these rides. So you're in a theater. Here's the snacks. If you want to buy some snacks, McDuck's chocolate coins.
Nice.
How about just a sack of sugar?
Oh, that's good.
Laugh-O-Grams,
This is great.
gummy bears, a Disney property.
Bouncing here and there and everywhere.
How about some Mallard cups instead of Mallow
Oh,
cups?
that's good.
I can't quite make out what's over here. Grass something.
That's great.
Hot fresh popcorn. Oh, and it's the El Capitan Theater. That's great.
Because the El Capitan is over. Is that still the theater over in California Adventure? Or
Los Angeles, but yes, it's based off of the one that's there in Los Angeles. But
yeah. Oh, okay.
That's so cool.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I really like this. Here we have, the Mickey Mouse Disco album, an outfit from that. Mouser Size.
Yeah, yo, I used to watch that Mouser Size in the morning on Disney Channel.
Yep. And Brian says the Hyperion.
Thank you.
Disney's California Adventure.
I wonder if they have anything from was it Rock Around the Rock Around the Mouse. Is that what it was called?
No
That's kind
clue.
It was a album I used to have when I was a kid.
Here we have the Beanstalk.
Yes.
What I'm curious about down here is if this is an accident that somebody needs to flip it over to fix it.
Or it was on purpose, so it stands like that.
Yeah. Is that a big piece of cheese or a cork? I'm not sure. And I don't know if you noticed, but up in the ceiling, the speakers that are clearly up there look like old
Movie reel.
movie reels.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then the history of Toontown's home theater.
Nice.
You got giant scissors from a ribbon cutting. Let's say the first box of popcorn. El Capitan Theater, admit one. The first hot dog.
Ew.
The skeletons. You've got some 3D
Oh, that's
glasses.
awesome.
So yeah, I'm so excited to go see this.
Yeah.
The Mouseketeer. So this is where they do a play on, and I'm sure there's more than just the couple I'm going to show here, but
The Rocketeer.
yes,
That's actually
blasting off soon.
That's pretty cool.
And
that one, I like that one.
Donald Duck in the Feisty Ducks. A hat trick of fun, according to the Duckburg Daily.
Yes.
They're all trying to stay out of the penalty box.
What's the duck drops this fall?
The duck drops this fall.
And if you know the Mighty Ducks poster, this makes total sense.
Yeah, I love it. And of course, here's what kind of the ride will look like on the inside. This is a trackless ride, similar to Rise of the Resistance or the Ratatouille ride, if you know it or have seen it. So,
are they going to bring the Ratatouille ride to Disneyland, or is it just?
I don't think so. They've got the one in Paris, and then they just opened the one at Epcot. So
I thought the one at Epcot's been there for a little while.
It just opened last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that was a part of the Walt Disney 50.
Oh, is that the part of? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I know you don't love the animation style on this ride,
but you know what? I'm not a fan of the animation, but I think the queue will make up for that for me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fun ride. It's already the same ride is open already in Florida.
Yeah, it opened actually before. I wasn't the only reason I haven't been on this yet is because I wasn't able to ride it in Florida because it was still being worked on when I went in 2017.
So I'm excited to see it here and
ride it. Worked on when we went last time.
I'm excited to ride it in November.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I will tell you, I'm excited to see Toontown overall.
Yeah.
Because they've given it a little facelift. They've made some changes. And when I went last year in August, I think it was August, Toontown was closed.
Oh, really?
So I didn't get to go to Toontown during that trip.
Dang. Yeah, I remember when we rode like I'd never been on it, which was crazy. Was the Gadget Go coaster when we went, and that was actually a lot of fun for a kid's coaster, bro.
Yeah, it's super short, and so I'm so glad they let us go twice. Yeah. And probably they would have let us go a third time because there was like no one in line.
But yeah, no, that was excellent. I mean, because like I said, I always thought I was kind of too big for it, but I forgot they make stuff for parents who are gonna ride with their kids. So
yeah, and it's not comfortable. I mean,
by no means is it comfortable, but it was fun.
Yeah. Well, and that ride's not going away.
Yeah,
it's still there. So I look forward to going on that ride for many years to come.
Even though kids have zero clue who Gadget is, unless they watch the Chip and Dale movie, which we talked about on this show number of months ago, not years ago, number of months ago.
Indeed. And keeping in line with the Disney talk, coming up on Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Tune into YouTube or the Disney Parks blog page where they will be doing the Disney 100 celebration at the Disneyland Resort. And it's a live stream event. Now, what I'm kind of curious about on this, so I'm going to read directly from the Disney Parks blog about this. And I quote, "So come on over to the Disney Parks blog this Friday, January 27th at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern for an insider's look from the Disneyland Resort at all new nighttime spectaculars. World of Color 1. Whoa. Whoa.
I didn't know. I didn't know he was home. That's hilarious.
And Wondrous Journeys. The new attraction, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, an exciting new exhibit, sparkling decor, and more.
Uh, this will be recorded, correct? So I can watch it later because I'm not going to be
Yeah,
able to watch.
presumably you'll be able to watch this after the fact. I mean,
Yeah.
you could, if you remember, one of the things they did not that long ago was the live stream of the Main Street Electrical Parade,
Right.
and you can still watch that now.
Right. Because I'll probably
So-
end up watching this after the fact, due to the fact that I won't be able to see it because I'm at work.
Well, and I'm working too, so I don't know if I'll be able to watch it live.
Oh, that's right.
It's
It's on Friday.
Well, and it's weird that it's at 2 p.m., but they're going to be talking about nighttime spectaculars.
Yeah. I mean, that it doesn't get dark until like, well, wait, no. It
It's
won't
not
get dark
dark at 2 p.m.
Yeah, it won't be dark until like 5.
Yes, 5, 6
6,
o'clock.
yeah.
Well, probably closer to 6:30 on because they're right there on the coast.
Right.
Either way, kind of weird. I don't understand it, but
Hey,
whatever.
do you, Disney?
Yeah.
Actually, they'll probably start off with the surprise. Well, some of the surprises and going to do the whole behind the scenes of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Rail or whatever that's called, and then they'll do that stuff later on, of course, when it gets dark.
I don't think this is going to be a multi-hour event. I think it's probably going to be about an hour. I think they're going to use stock footage.
No, okay, well,
Yeah.
that
I don't.
sucks.
What you think this thing is going to start at 2 o'clock and run until like 8 p.m. when they would normally do World of Color?
No, I thought they would do maybe like an earlier show or something. I don't know. When it starts getting dark, more like
6 p.m.
a dusk show.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think that helps to sell the product.
Yeah, that's true. That doesn't really help.
All right, let's start winding this thing down. We got some football to talk about,
Yeah.
and let's start up here. Of course, your Jacksonville Jaguars playing the Kansas City Chiefs
Again, listen, I'm gonna say this. I was not even expecting them to make the playoffs. I said, I don't even know if it was on the show, but I know to many people I said, all I'm looking for is 5 wins. That's all I'm looking for, and I'll be good. And they ended up making it into the playoffs, winning the wild card, and then having to go into Kansas City. And that hurt me a little bit. But what it did show me is that Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars are legitimate and they can fight. And so I am excited for next season.
That was Trevor Lawrence's first loss on a Saturday in his career.
That is true. And they kept that very close all the way up until the end.
So I will say we both went with Kansas City on this one, and we both were correct.
Yes.
Let's move on down. Cincinnati going into Buffalo.
That was somewhat of a shocker.
Especially how poorly Buffalo really.
It's like, who were these guys that showed up?
I mean, it's not like the Bengals played amazing football. It's just Buffalo was really bad.
Really bad.
I'm not sure what happened there, and we both had Buffalo going on that game. So
we did.
Heading up, we had the Eagles hosting the New York Giants.
Let's talk about not showing up.
That was a murder. That was a bloodbath. That was,
I said,
that was a bye week.
We didn't, and actually, as I told a couple of the guys that I work with, we were talking about football. As I did the stone cold mud stop into the ground. That wasn't even apparently it stopped being a game, like, a while into it.
Yeah, it was not enjoyable. And
I called the Eagles. We both called the Eagles, didn't we?
Yes, we both
Yeah.
called Philadelphia there.
Yeah.
And to me, the biggest pathetic excuse of a team, uh, the Cowboys, who, yes, you got this one right. Good for
Yeah.
you. But
I told all the Cowboy fans that come through my checkpoint, be humble. Be humble. Because yeah, oh yeah, you get to the playoffs, but what happens? You choke. You always choke. It's not it's not a matter of when, it's not a matter of how bad you're gonna choke. It's a matter of when you're gonna choke. And I knew it was gonna happen.
I I thought the Cowboys, and obviously you went with San Francisco, and I went with Dallas here. Um, I honestly thought the Cowboys were the team this year. They had shown that a pretty consistent team throughout the year. I felt like there was no team in the NFC that could beat them, like in these playoffs. I really genuinely felt like I knew they were going to have to do some work against the Niners and they were going to have to do some work against the Eagles, but I didn't think there was anybody in the AFC that could beat them. Um, and so
There wasn't anybody in the AFC that could have beat them because they got beat in the NFC, so it worked out.
I, I honestly, I did not think they would get. Not only did they lose, but they got spanked. Like,
I mean, they only lost by 7.
yes, but they
And again, the kicker missed a point after. Like, bro, you get paid a lot of money to kick a ball. Like, don't get me wrong. I know it's not easy. I know it's not it looks easier than it really is.
it's not a given, but
Yeah,
still
it's not a
to
given, but
miss
bro,
five in a row.
points after are like free throws in the NBA. You're not supposed to miss those unless you're Shaquille O'Neal. But you know, like those are supposed to be give me's.
Whatever,
And
dude. Shaquille O'Neal is still a top 10 NBA player of all time.
yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying the guy couldn't shoot free throws, and we all know this. But like the thing is like unacceptable, unacceptable.
No, agreed, absolutely.
Because then you would
Well,
only lost.
and
Then they would only lost by 6, but still, whatever.
and Dak Shepard giving up giving up two interceptions.
That doesn't help either.
Uh,
You're
if both of those drives
they actually got
had resulted in field goals and not resulted in points the other way, they win
yeah.
that game.
And don't get me wrong, like, and they got to Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy's been damn near untouchable. I mean, like nobody's pretty much hit him up until this point. But you know, like there was cracks definitely in the Niner game, but like, bro, I knew it. I told
Well,
you.
the Niners, to me, as you just confessed yourself, they showed where the weaknesses are.
Yeah.
And let's
This
now
was this
talk
guy's.
about.
This was literally this is this guy's first. You know, this is his first time in
No, it's
these
the
experiences.
Niners overall, not just Brock Purdy. The Niners overall, they didn't have an amazing defensive
No.
game except for those two interceptions, and they didn't have they didn't even have a good offensive game. They had a decent offensive game.
Yeah, but I think like again, but the Cowboys defense actually that's the thing. The Cowboys defense held up their end of the bargain. The offense didn't.
I mean, the defense could have done a better job.
Yeah, they could have, but the defense can only do so much. The offense also needs to match that. Anyway.
Defense wins Super Bowls. Defense wins championships. That's the fact.
No, yeah, you're right. But
Everyone knows that in the NFL, defense wins championships. So, speaking of which, let's talk about the championships. So we've got the AFC Championship, Kansas City hosting the Bengals. Who you got?
this changes everything.
Does
So
it?
yeah, because I didn't have Kansas City going in.
No, you didn't.
So so this is a rematch of last year.
Yes.
Yeah. So Joe Burrow that was an upset, and so I think for me, I think Patrick Mahomes. Oh, and he's hurt now too, so that'll be interesting to see. Honestly, um, this is tough for me. It really depends on how what Patrick Mahomes' status is. I mean, and they pretty much said he's going to be playing. So, if he can actually move, I think they'll be fine. And I mean, and they did step it up against Jacksonville. So, um, I don't think they're going to get beat by the Bengals again. But at the same time, I think they could. So, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with Kansas City now.
I figured you would. I am going with Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Kansas City.
All right, San Francisco heading into Philly.
That's gonna be a tough game. That's definitely gonna be a tough game. But I think we might get a rematch of the Super Bowl. What was that? 2 years ago?
So I'm guessing that means you're going with the Niners, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yes.
I am going with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think based on what we saw this last weekend, Philly's offense is back and ready to kick butt. And I think the Niners defense looked like it had some real chinks in its armor. And I think their offense did not look as good as it probably should have. And that the Eagles defense is not the best, but I think that they can handle it. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think Philadelphia is going to win by probably 6, but I'm going with Philadelphia.
So we will see this weekend.
So you've got KC versus San Francisco going into the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So obviously your pick before, you had Buffalo going into Buffalo versus San Francisco in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you said Buffalo to win the Super Bowl. So obviously that can't happen.
That can't happen.
And I had Dallas versus Buffalo in the Super Bowl with Dallas winning, and that can't happen. So for me, I now have Cincinnati versus Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, and I'm going with Philly to win the whole thing.
Which actually was random because that's a pick that I told a guy earlier this year when he asked me he's like who's going to the Super Bowl, and I was like Philly, and he's like that's too obvious, and I was like okay, but for this I think it's going to be Kansas City and San Francisco, and I think San Francisco might actually beat them this time.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Patrick Mahomes is going to still be shut out of a ring, huh?
He already has one.
Oh yeah, when they beat him 2 years ago.
Yeah. It's gonna be, like I said, it's going to be a rematch of 2 years ago, and
yeah,
I think the Niners will actually win this one.
Yeah, if it comes to your series, Kansas City versus San Francisco, I think you're right. I think San Francisco wins that game. But I don't think San Francisco gets past Philadelphia. So
we will. Everything will be set after this weekend.
And that's where, for me, I'm a little bit envious of the fact that you and Tyrus next week are going to have a lot to be able to talk about. You can talk about the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You can talk about the Monday night after Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You can talk about championship weekend.
Yes, sir.
Like you guys, that alone to me in my head, I'm like, that's got to be 30 to 40 minutes worth of content right there.
At least.
So I'm jealous because, like I said, I'll be commenting because I'm certain I won't be able to talk because I'll have had the surgery that day. And you know what? I probably won't be coherent.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I had to bring this up because this is very adequate for me right now, at least. And it says
adequate for you right now,
or no, not adequate. What's the word I'm looking for? It basically you'll understand once I read it. The wood frog can hold its pee for up to 8 months, and yeah, I know that sounds weird, but basically, the wood frog in Alaska, they have to hold it for 8 months so they can actually. Uh, it helps them survive through the winter months. So they're with them not going, the urea actually helps keep the animal alive while it hibernates with special microbes in their gut that recycle the urea into nitrogen.
Interesting. I
Yeah,
mean, it makes sense because, you lose body temperature when you urinate.
right.
But man, 8 months.
Yeah, yeah.
That's Don't get me wrong. I don't want to go. It also makes me question how much they're drinking, right? Because, as we know, the less we drink, the less we urinate. But
But the thing is, I mean, they're also smaller creatures too. So I mean, it's like,
I'm talking, I mean, that's all relative, right?
right,
Relative
true.
size. So, if you drink nothing today, you probably won't pee. You know what I mean? Like that's just a reality. But
Right.
you'll also eventually become dehydrated and have to go to the
Yes.
hospital, and
Yeah.
so that's interesting. And of course that's an amphibian, so obviously different than mammal, which we are.
Cold blood. Yeah. Right.
Cold-blooded versus warm-blooded,
Yep.
absolutely true.
Exactly.
Something I found interesting that I heard about recently was that I can't remember if it's alligator or crocodile. They only have to eat the amount that's in like a chicken once a week, and they're fine.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh. Okay.
yeah. I mean, they will eat more than that, but as long as they eat at least that much, because they're cold-blooded and all of
Right.
that, they're fine.
Well, here's something else that I found. Your nostrils work one at a time.
What does that mean?
Uh, when we breathe in and out of our nose during the day, one nostril does most of the work at a time. With the duty switching every several hours, this nasal cycle is dictated by the same was it autonomic nervous system that regulates heart rate, digestion, and other unconscious bodily functions, and is the reason why when our nose gets stuffed up, it does not. It does so when oh dang, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, that that's totally true. When our nose gets stuffed up, it does so one nostril at a time. I
Uh, that's true. You don't
yeah,
ever really have a double
yeah,
congestion.
yeah. It's only one nostril, and now I'm really wow. Now that I read that, I think
Hmm,
that's a wrap. I think it's a wrap on the show right now.
interesting.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have some things to think about tonight.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, good night, guys.